Good afternoon to you on this Monday. Hope you are doing well. This is David Which I'm with Balancing the Triad. What I'm doing here is a couple of years back, I went through a simple biopsy only to wake up in ICU with a bunch of tubes out my nose. Went back the following week, got a cancer diagnosis. Went back the week after that for an 8-hour surgery. All in all, I took it and pretty much the answer to all of it was like, okay, that's about the extent I handled everything. So what I am doing here is I'm taking what I've learned and pass it on to you. So hopefully it will help you meet whatever life throws at you a little easier, or what life has already thrown at you, and make that easier, well, to handle as, handle as well. Okay, yeah, get confused there. So I think you get the idea. So today's topic, definitely an interesting one because this was conversations I had over this past weekend. Victim or victor? Win or learn? Placebo or nocebo? What's your choice? So let's kind of break this down. Victim or victor? This is basically, we have a choice of how we handle life, how we view things, and it's a learned perspective. Do you play the victim mentality, woe is me, or you play the victor and do something about it? Win or do you win or you learn? Win, this taught this before, like if you either win it or you don't lose, but you learn something from it, and it's a choice. Placebo, nocebo. Placebo effect, we know that the power of the mind, which can make us heal, which actually you go through most of the prescription drugs out there. Placebo is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the actual drug, just like they even mimic some with knee surgeries. People had pain-free after the surgery, and they didn't even have it. Nocebo takes the opposite. The more negative path takes you down to the negative road. So let me give you a couple of stories to represent what's your choice. A couple of these I probably shared up before. A gentleman had a cancer, and there was a new, I've heard this in more than read it and or heard it many different times. Gentleman had cancer, a new trial drug was coming out, supposed to take care of it. He went to his doctor, begged to be on the case. The doctor put him on it. Things were going well. All his cancer stuff was reversing. The guy's getting healthy. Then there's a report that comes out, says it's not going good. He starts falling backwards, calls his doctor, everything starts to reverse. Doctor gives him something else. No, it's not really good. It still gives him something else. They know, here's a new batch. This works better. The guy's on it. Everything, again, all the cancer stuff starts to reverse. Everything's healthy till the report comes out again. No good, doesn't do any good at all, any well at all. He goes reverse, ends up dying. The pill didn't do any good to begin with, but he was getting healthy. The power of the mind, until he went back the other direction. Another examples of these, you've probably seen the memes on Facebook or even on social media. Two people in a prison cell. One's looking at the prison walls or the prison door, and he's painting cell walls. The other one's looking outside and painting a scene outside. Or two people on the bus. One's staring out the mountain on the wall next to him. One's looking outside at the scenery. You have a choice of how you view things and how you choose to learn. A couple examples of this. Some people I met over the weekend. A young man, found out later, he's only 15 years old now. When he did this, I don't know, but he found out he was dealing with some anxiety. And he made the choice to do some research and find out, okay, what can I do about this? How can I take care of this myself? Found transcendental meditation. Now, here's a young guy that's figuring, okay, instead of taking blame and say, oh, this is why I am, here it is. He decided to take action and go through and find something that can help him out. And by doing that, it's actually carried over to other parts of his life. I know a lot of adults that will say they're dealing with anxiety, and that's as far as they go. They just deal with it. They don't even try to take care of it. Another one, woman I was able to talk to, she and her children went through, let's just say a horrific event. And there's ways you can definitely interpret about how that took place. And the way she chose to do it is to realize the synchronicities. You've heard me talk about synchronicities. You've heard me talk about that I believe that everything happens for a reason. For her, she's able to connect the dots and realize this is what things happen. Here's why it happened. And the alternative, she and I wouldn't have had the chance to talk. But she chose to view it that way. And again, this is the choice. No matter what happens in life, you have a choice of how you handle it. So want some more extreme examples of this. Any of you have ever read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning? If you don't know what that book is, Viktor Frankl was in the Holocaust. I don't remember if he's actually in Auschwitz or not, but one of the camps. Psychologist, psychotherapist, I'm not for sure exactly what the term was, but he went in there and he understood what his perspective was. He understood, excuse me, going through and understand why certain people survived one certain diet, and a lot of times it had to do with mentality. We have a choice how we handle situations. You understand if you've ever read anything or heard any interviews or anything on people that were POWs. The ones that did very well, at least inside, versus the ones that didn't. It's all up in here. You have a choice of how you react to situations or don't. Again, victim or victor. You have a choice of how you handle it. No matter what happens, there's something you can do. Do you simply win from a situation, or are you going to learn from it? It's just like even optimists and pessimists. That's a learned situation as well. Placebo, nocebo, it's the power of your mind. Now, I will say this, though. Humans have a negative bias. We have a tendency to look for the negative, but you have to choose to look for the positive because you realize, as most of you do, that has more benefit in life. Going down the negative hole doesn't do you much good. You have to make a choice about how it's going to benefit your life. All right, so that's what I want to share with you today. Got some great conversations with those people over the weekend, and I kind of transferred to this and going, yeah, this is a wonderful thing to do. Dang. Excuse me, I don't even have my water with me right now. That's what I want to share with you today. Realize whatever the situation is, because we've talked about several times before, situations do not have meanings until we assign them one. And another thing we talked about before is emotions only last 90 seconds. Anything longer than that is the emotion or is the story that we attach to them. We keep telling ourselves over and over again. That could be a positive story. It could be a negative one. It's up to you. And even no matter what you told yourself, it can be changed. As long as you choose to put in some time, put in the effort, get some tools to do it. All right, so that's what I got for you today. Let me know your thoughts on that. Where have you been the victor or victim? Where have you learned, or where have you won? And placebo, nocebo, what are your things at, or anything extra or something along those lines there, right? Let me know your thoughts on that, and we will catch you next time. So take care and balancing to you. Bye-bye.